Yeah, Emily, who was one of the key people on our team, she has a great uncle who's in pulmonology, so he was a great resource. And then we had Dr. Lee Cohen also, who was like in the thick of it. And she was dealing with COVID patients like around the clock when we were interviewing her. So she was kind enough to find time and tell us about her experience and what she saw as necessary things to incorporate inside a ventilator for COVID patients. So those were really useful resources. And then towards the end of round one, we started reaching out to talk with more RTs, respiratory therapists. And so we found an awesome respiratory therapist who was introduced to us by a fellow Smith alum. Her dad had been a respiratory therapist for several decades. So he's retired now, but he had some time and he was really giving of his time, and he spent a lot of time explaining the concepts and what we would need in the final design, so on and so forth. So initially getting like some of the basic information from the doctors was useful. But then as we got into like the more nitty gritty details, the respiratory therapists had a lot more information in terms of what was necessary. So that was an interesting thing that I learned. It's like the respiratory therapists know so much about ventilators and the lung system. So, I mean, yeah, so of course they would know a lot, but the doctors were like defer to their knowledge sometimes. So that was interesting.